Hi, I watched Liar and Princess, and here's my review. Chen, a computer programming genius, and Zhu, a lively and innocent girl, butt heads as they start their university life. For this drama, I am a bit mitigated. I enjoyed it a lot. I spent a very good time most of the time watching this drama. However, it's true that I did get bored a few times during the duration of the drama, unfortunately. Good thing is, every time I really started to get bored, things happened in the drama that piqued my interest again and was able to really draw me again in the drama. But these little moments of boredom still happened, unfortunately, and at some point I even almost dropped the drama because I thought I was not going to be able to get back into it again. Especially given the theme of the drama of computer programming that I don't really have any interest in. And I know these dramas kind of focus a lot on work or school. So I was a bit very worried actually when I started the drama. And rightfully so I was, because indeed it is a lot about work and it's a lot about computer programming, which I don't really care about, like I just said. So yeah, sometimes a bit bored when nothing really happened in the story and we would just see them working on some project or something. That being said, I knew going into the drama what the theme was going to be, and I decided, despite it, to still give it a chance because I heard really, really good things about this drama, and I also liked the poster. I'm an easy person. If I like the poster, usually I want to give it a chance. So this, coupled with the fact that everyone seemed to be loving it, I decided to give it a chance despite the theme that I knew I was not going to enjoy, probably. By the way, I apologize if you hear the noise behind. I hope you don't, but yeah, it's from outside. I can't do anything about it. Something I did really like, though, is the transition in their relationship throughout the whole drama. We see them butting heads and not getting along, to slowly getting along, to slowly becoming friends, to slowly becoming more, and finally lovers. And so this is something I really enjoyed. I think it's done really well, and most of the time, or I even want to say always, done extremely well and in a pretty natural way, if I can say. Overall, this is a drama that I do recommend. It's pretty nice, even though it can be a bit slow sometimes because of the theme and how they often work a lot. I still recommend it because it's pretty nice. The romance is very nice as well. And so, yeah, I had a feeling I was going to prefer their younger selves, because it's often the case in these dramas. They like to do younger selves and more adult selves. And so I did think I was going to prefer the younger self, and it did not miss. I did prefer the younger self. But that doesn't mean that I didn't like the rest. I did enjoy it, except for the few moments where I was bored. So this is a drama I do recommend. Also, production-wise, it is very nice. The OST acting is really on point. I really have nothing to say. Everyone does a very good job. I want to emphasize it because, yeah, really great job in this drama. First thing I want to mention is how difficult for me it was to open up, if I can say, to Chen at the beginning of the drama. He's a pretty special person, pretty special character. So at first, at the beginning of the drama, especially since we start when he just gets out of prison, it was very difficult for me to actually like this character. And it continued to be this way a bit when he was in university at the very beginning with his very blonde hair. It was the same. I had a hard time really liking his character, and so I couldn't really see how the romance was going to be able to happen between our two main characters. But I slowly opened up to him, and yeah, so I don't know about you guys, if you had the same impression as me about this special person, this special character. You tell me all about it. Something that did shock me, but ultimately I ended up liking it, is how they jumped 3 years after they finally confessed to each other and started going out. So it goes without saying, if I can say, maybe it's not going to be the case for everyone, but for me it goes without saying that the best moment of a relationship is at the beginning, the start of it. So jumping 3 years, the best 3 years, if I can say, for me felt kind of unthinkable. So when it happened, I was very shocked and kind of annoyed, to be honest, because I thought, no, how can you jump such important cuteness? How can you do that? So yeah, I felt very, very, not mad about it, but very uncomfortable, maybe it's more the word, when they did that. By the way, the confession is very beautiful. I really enjoyed it a lot. It did come a bit out of nowhere for me, but I don't care. I enjoyed it so much. Also, the kisses in this drama, whew, we like them. We do like them a lot. So yeah, at first not very fond of it at all. But then ultimately, when we started seeing them together, I realized that it's also nice to be able to see a couple a bit later on in their relationship where it can still be butterflies, if I can say, but being more, how can I say that, comfortable with one another. Because while I do like the beginning of a relationship a lot and I love to see it a lot, it's true that sometimes the awkwardness of the beginning of a relationship can be a bit annoying, if I can say. Annoying is a big word, but yeah, can be a bit tiring to see always the awkwardness. So in this case, we don't have this awkwardness because they've been together for 3 years, but they still are in a very good place in their relationship. They still have the butterflies and everything, the passion, if I can say. So yeah, in the end, I actually ended up enjoying that they did that a lot. And finally, the last thing I want to mention, and that unfortunately I didn't like, is that they don't come back more on the relationship between Li Shun and Juyun's parents. I'm not gonna lie, this is something that I usually don't necessarily enjoy when we have parents that don't like the main character, be it male or female. I don't really like this type of plot at all, and I don't really like to focus a lot of time on it. So usually I would have liked it the way they did it in the drama. But they actually piqued my interest so much. I really wanted to know how the mom was going to open up to Li Shun, how she was going to be able to accept him. I think it's especially because they had met Li Shun once already, and it was a total fiasco, right? He did everything he could to make it the more horrible possible. And I think it's because they met him once and, were kind of open to open dialogue, to open discussion with him, though they still wanted things to go their way anyway. But so the mom was so against their relationship, and after everything that had happened, how he had acted when they met, how he had broken up and pushed Juyun to depression, how he had been to prison, I really wanted to see how the mom was going to open up. Well, I repeat myself, but this was something I really wanted to see, and the more I was watching the drama, the more I was approaching from the last episode, and the more I realized that there was going to be nothing. At some point, I really thought they were not even going to address it at all. They do address it at some point, but it's very too short. We don't get to know how the mom is going to open up ultimately. if she's going to open up at all someday. And so, yeah, for once I actually wanted to see this side. I wanted to see the parents warm up. Apparently the dad is okay with it, so we don't really know how or why. He just is cool with it, so okay, why not? But yeah, this is something I think is really missing in the drama. I think it would have been a lot more interesting to see this rather than see the side where he fights against this other guy, Lao Gao, his name is, for LP. Yeah. Well, never mind. You can't always have everything you want, but yeah, I think it's a shame that they don't spend more time on this and instead create more problems on the other side. For example, Lao Gao's not injury but illness. Everything on this is fine, by the way. I want to emphasize that I did not hate it at all. I did enjoy it, but it's true that I would have enjoyed it more if we had more of the parents. I gave all my reasons why, but I just remembered another one, is that Joon is not going back abroad. She's been lying, and this other guy as well, they've been lying to the parents for a while so she could stay with Li Shun and help him. And so yeah, I guess I just wanted to see, really, just the end word is that I would have loved to see how the mom was going to open up eventually to Li Shun. And so I'm pretty disappointed, I'm gonna say, that we don't get to see that. On one side, like I said, I don't really care about what the parents think, so I'm glad they do just that. They keep going on together, despite if the mom likes it or not. So I like that, but at the same time I wanted to see it, and so yeah, I'm sad we don't get to see it. And with that, this is all I have to say already about Lighter and Princess. Overall, a drama I really enjoyed a lot, but find a bit boring sometimes because it's too focused on work for me. So if you don't really like work-based dramas where you see them work a lot, maybe this is not going to be entirely for you. But since I was able to go through it and still very much enjoy myself, I think you could still try it, even if usually you don't really like work-related dramas. And so on these last words, don't hesitate to tell me your own thoughts about this drama, what you thought. Did you like it? Did you not? What did you like? What did you dislike? I'm all ears. I'm all to hear about it. And so yeah, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments. With this, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!